It felt like it was the right time to do another Q&A video, and last night Chad put up a question on Instagram and Facebook asking if there were any cues that you guys had for us to A. We sort of wanted to do it in like the Reddit Ask Me Anything style, the AMA style.
So not just cleaning questions.
Yeah, just like sort of beyond the world of cleaning for Melissa and Chad. So Chad is going to read the questions. I'm going to answer. He'll answer some of them too, but let's see what we get.
What's your best relationship advice for a happy, long marriage? Humor. Humor is the #1 thing for me. For a happy life, being able to laugh at one another and make fun of one another is mine.
And for me, just respecting and focusing on the positive and not the negative of the person that you are with.
Andrea816 asks, how do you organize your money and budget?
I love that question. We might even tackle that in a future video. We work with a financial planner or a financial advisor, and we're very diligent about saving a good portion of our money. We also keep our money separate, and then we have a joint account for shared expenses like the house and the baby, but we also don't have to be accountable to the other person about how we choose to spend our own money, so it's kind of nice.
How did Chad propose?
Well, it took him forever. We got engaged after 4 years. I was ready way earlier, but Chad needed to take his time.
Good things come to those who wait.
So I just started to get really aggressive with engagement rings. I would send him pictures.
You literally picked out the engagement ring that you wanted.
I actually did, yep. And then you went and you got it. And then you were with Luke that day, actually, and I kind of knew that it was happening. And I was in sweatpants and like nothing fancy. And then Chad was so nervous when he came home. He just had the ring in his hand and he like came upstairs to our family room and he's like, I really like you.
Marry me. It was pretty lame.
It was so lame.
But it worked out.
Memorable. But it was cute. It was very Chad.
Do you keep the house really spotless all the time?
Nope. The way that I explain this to people is like this. You know when you talk to someone who's trying to lose weight and they say, I don't need to see a nutritionist because I know all the things. Hey Luke, no, focus on that. What are you doing?
Hey, what are you doing?
Bring it back. No, he's making fun. No, excuse me. He actually put that stuff.
That's his stuff. It's not even our stuff.
Here's what I say to people when it comes to how clean our house is. The way that someone would say, I don't need to see a nutritionist because I already know all the things I'm supposed to be eating. I just can't lose the weight. It's sort of the same with us in cleaning. Like we know how to do all the stuff, but do we actually do it all the time every day? No, we have a respectable, like a socially respectably clean home, but it's not perfect. That's not our personality.
Steph Bertoni asks, did you guys move? And that's probably based upon the fact that you see some pictures on Instagram of us in some different places. Well, we actually work with an incredibly talented photographer named Shane Gray, and every month we get together, usually in our house, but sometimes we go to other people's houses or other kind of fun areas.
Yeah, because they could we live in this house, we work in this house, we shoot in this house,
500 plus
we take pictures in this house. Like I'm sick of this house. So sometimes we just want to get shots in different locations only because aesthetically it's pleasing and it's kind of fun for us to get out. But we have not moved. Trust me, when we do, you guys will know.
Delaney Partlow asks, are you going to have more kids?
I think so, but I think we're going to have one first and see what happens.
Let's start with one. Sweet Sting 28 asks, will you guys vaccinate your baby girl?
We absolutely will be vaccinating her. We want to make sure she's healthy and protected.
What is the name of Miss Reynolds?
This Miss Reynolds, well, it's funny because we weren't actually going to share the name with you guys, but so many of you have been asking, so I guess here it is.
Her name is...
It took us such a long time to think of the name. We put so much thought into it, but we absolutely love it and we think it's perfect for her.
I feel really happy that it's now out there.
Don't you guys love it?
You got that, right, Luke? What's your biggest pet peeve about being a YouTuber?
It's a pretty easy gig. I don't know. I don't really have any hang-ups about it. I kind of like it.
I think the biggest challenge that we sometimes face is when you put yourself out there and your life out there.
That's a good point.
People sometimes can get a little personal and a little kind of infringing and start making some assumptions about your life or how you live or whatnot.
Yeah, that's a good
whether
point.
they be founded or not. So that can sometimes be challenging, but all in all, I agree with you. It's a pretty good gig.
It's pretty sweet.
Move with Melissa asks, she actually asks a few questions, so let's kind of quickly try to get through a few of these. I'm so interested to learn more about your behind the scenes work to create your awesome videos. Thank you. How do you organize and set your schedule in terms of planning and executing video content?
So Chad and Luke have production calls about once a week, and they do a whole bunch of social listening, which is when all of us look through comments, we'll send each other ideas for videos, and then they sort of compile all of that. And in their production call, they decide what they want to shoot based on the comments we've been getting, anything that's going on with Clean My Space itself, and then anything that's seasonal. So that's kind of how we set that up. And then every Tuesday and Thursday, we like to shoot. So Luke and Lindsay come to the house. Chad and I are obviously here because we live here. And then we film. That's pretty much how it goes.
Do 2 videos every single time we film. At least try to get 2 out. Sometimes we get a few more out.
And sometimes we don't get any out because we get taken over by meetings about makers or other stuff that's going on.
Do you write scripts and are you reading them off when you are speaking in front of the camera? Well, for a long time we didn't do scripts, and then for a short period of time we actually did do scripts, and we did teleprompting, and all of the videos were written in that way.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, and we were kind of cutting our teeth, and now Melissa, being as talented as she is in front of the camera, for the most part,
stop it. You stop it.
for the most part, we have the ability to just kind of give a video outline. So basically just kind of the top points that we want to touch on. If it's a video about 7 things, we kind of outline the 7 things, and then maybe a few points that we want to touch on. But for the most part, we just wind Melissa up. She has a little string in the back, and we wind her up.
Like those big teeth.
She just goes. What other occupations did you both consider or have before getting into the cleaning business?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have to keep this short, but so I left a job in commercial banking before, which is so boring, before I started my cleaning company. I always wanted to be a dentist growing up, so that was sort of my nerdy little obsession. And I never got to live out my fantasy of fixing and cleaning people's teeth. So, what about you?
And before I Clean My Space, me and the handsome young man standing behind the camera right now, Lucas, ran
Lucas is actually older than you.
It's true, but it's still young man. It's a nice compliment. So, we had a business called 360 MediaWorks, which was a web design and graphic design company. What was your first car ever?
My first car was a 2-door Pontiac Sunfire, and it was silver. And I thought it was the coolest car ever. I loved it.
My first car was a 1986 dark gray Volkswagen Jetta. And when I drove home from the place that I bought it from, I felt like the coolest dude in the world in my 1986 Volkswagen Jetta.
And you drove it to the ground, literally, right?
Literally drove it into the ground. It actually caught on fire. That's how the car moved out of my life, is it burned. Miss Forest Fauna asks, what are you doing to stay fit while pregnant?
So if you follow me on Instagram stories, you'll always see my hashtag #FitPregnancy. I just keep going to the gym, but I have greatly changed the way that I work out. And now that I'm about 38 weeks pregnant, I have really reduced what I do, but I followed an online program called Fit to Birth Mom, I think it's called. I can link it for you down below. It's been super helpful, and I've just adapted it so that I'm not in pain, and my midwife and doula have all said, yeah, keep going, it's good for you.
With your fitness going strong during your pregnancy, do you experience back pain at all?
Yeah, I sure do. I sure do. There's a human over here. It is uncomfortable, and I do a lot of things to try and alleviate it, from using a big ball, like one of those exercise balls. I do some cat-cow stretches. I've seen an osteopath, and I wear like one of these guys, like a little girdle, little pregnancy girdle, but it helps hold your belly up. This one's by Bravado. It's actually new, and they sent it to me, and it's been really helpful, but it's not so sexy.
Evelina Fortuna asks, Where's that hoodie from? It's cute. Well, thank you very much. It's from Simon's, and I decided to wear it again because I knew this question was coming up.
Recycling.
Awai Dewak, I'm sorry. How old is Chad?
Well, how old are you?
I am 42.
41.
42 this year.
He's 41. You know, this is Chad. He's 41, but he's like, I'm like 50. Like, he always tries to go 7 years older than he really. For some reason, he's obsessed with being older. He's 41.
Slurpy Girl asks, why are your microfiber cloths so expensive? And this is a question we've received a few times. We quite frankly don't consider the cloths overly expensive. Microfiber cloths kind of fall into two categories. You have your store brand or dollar store style. Anything that ends up being around $1 per cloth. You can usually buy a bulk pack of 24 of them for $20 or something like that from Costco.
With the quality.
And you know the quality that you're getting. And then you have quality microfiber manufacturers like ourselves, and those usually end up being around $10 or sometimes even more, $15 or $20 per cloth, depending on the type of cloth. And as with anything in this world, at least in my experience, you always end up getting what you pay for.
So if you look at the math when it comes to our cloths on the large space kit, $60 for 10 cloths, you're paying $6 a cloth. They are amazing and they're gonna last you for so long. So if you think about buying a dollar store cloth that you're not going to have a good cleaning experience with, that you just paid $1 for, yeah, you could pay $1 for it, but it's not gonna work the same way a better quality one would. And frankly, we could have priced ours in the $15 to $20 per cloth range because we know the quality that we're providing, but we decided not to. So even in our most expensive option, which is a 2-pack, I think it's $9.50 per cloth, it's still a much better deal.
How old is your cat and what kind of breed is your cat?
Oh,
and that's singular because you don't see the other cat very often. We actually have 2 cats. Molly is a Himalayan,
a Siamese Himalayan
mix. And Paisley is a regular black cat, just a plain
old, a DSH, domestic short hair.
That's it.
Is what they're called. So Molly is 8 years old and Paisley is 7 years old.
Yeah.
They're both old ladies, but they act like children.
Alaskan Princess 629 asks, how would you handle the cat's new human baby sister when she, the first day that she comes home? So basically a bunch of people ask this question.
I'm scared about that actually.
How are we gonna deal with the cat? So in short, Paisley is not gonna be an issue because the baby will see Paisley as much as you guys see Paisley, pretty
Hopefully.
much. She's a very kind of remote cat and she wouldn't do a thing to anything.
We also have her on some anti-anxiety medications just to prepare her. So God only knows what's gonna happen.
She should be fine. And Molly we've had for years and years and years, and I don't foresee any problems with Molly. She's a very calm, caring cat. And I don't see that changing. It's gonna take some time to get used to the baby.
There will be some hissing.
But she'll get used to the baby. Grow Babe asks, do you have any advice on starting a cleaning company?
Oh my God, I have lots of advice on starting a cleaning company. Actually, I'm gonna start putting more videos up on the Melissa Maker channel about that, so I'll link that for you down below, and I do have some business videos on there anyway, so if you want more information like that, you can subscribe to that channel, and you can also let me know in the comments if you have any other questions business-wise, because maybe I'll look at those questions and I'll make some videos on the Melissa Maker channel for that.
33 Courtney asks, how did you make the first jump into hiring an employee in your cleaning business? So I guess employee number 1.
Yeah, that was a hard one, but I looked around in my own network and I found someone who I knew, and I asked if they wanted to work with me, and that's how I hired the first person. It was very nerve-wracking, and I was definitely not a good boss, but I have learned over the years, so.
We could sit here for hours and continue to answer all of the questions that you guys left for us. Thank you so much. We've received hundreds and hundreds of questions. Clearly we wouldn't be able to get them all done in this particular video. If you would like to see more videos like this, please let us know in the comments down below. But before we go, just a quick update as far as what's going on here at the Clean My Space
Some
HQ.
housekeeping issues,
housekeeping items, if you will. First off, we are obviously going to be within the next few weeks, hopefully.
No, it will be in the next few weeks.
Will be 100%.
Oh yes.
Having a little baby, taking some time off. However, For the past 8 months, we have been doubling up our shooting, and we have a whole bunch of content, so there will be no interruption as far as the channel is concerned. You guys will keep seeing videos come every single week as you have for the past 7 years.
Although you will see me with Z-Bump and not Z-Baby.
And you'll see varying bump
Levels of
sizes,
pregnancy, yeah.
because we did shoot over the past 8 months. So basically we have everything from like no bump to a whole lot of bump and everything in between. So stay tuned for those videos. That leads us to this week's comment question, which is, which answer that we gave today was the most surprising? And also take an opportunity to ask your question. Ask us anything. If you guys really liked this style of video, we'll continue to do them because this was actually a lot of fun to do.
Here are a couple more videos that you can check out, and if you want to learn more about our Makers Clean microfiber cloths, you can click this button right over here. Thank you guys so much for all of your kind words, support, excitement, and all the rest. And we had a lot of fun doing this video. We hope you loved it, and we will see you next time.